Welcome back to Click and Budgets. My name is Ashley, and today we're going to be doing a budget with me. So we're going to budget our paycheck for the first, which is the name first, and I get paid bi-weekly, which is the 1st and the 15th. And I don't do a monthly paycheck breakdown. I do it bi-weekly. So today, let's go through the breakdown. All right. I'm still trying to figure out how exactly I'm going to be talking, because I just do this like a battle rhythm. I just do this without speaking. So please be very patient with me as I get used to talking about how I budget out loud. So my paycheck was a little different this time of the month. And it's a little higher. So this is not the usual paycheck that I normally get. It was $38.48. And for the rollover, we had $159.62, and that's because I probably forgot to pay one of my bills. So that should not be there at all. There's always a $10 buffer inside my checking account because we do the zero-based budget. So let's add the paycheck number one and the rollover together. And that is $4,008.24. This is what we're going to be working with. We're going to be working with $4,008. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go through our bills. Okay. So for the rent, our rent increased by a lot because the price of the dollar went down. If nobody watched my previous video, I am currently in Germany, living with my husband and our 2 daughters and our cat and dog. So we're living off post. We are both in the military. So we are currently stationed over here for a while. So our rent increased to $2,900 this month. So we had to increase it from $700 to $750. We both split the rent by 4, so 2 for me on the 1st and the 15th, and then 2 for my husband. He gave me his portion already because he's going to be gone for the entire month, so his is just sitting in a joint savings account. So utilities, this is a separate from the rent, even though the $3,000 is probably a lot of money for rent right now, but the rent includes utilities. So just like a basic, like $40 per person in the household. That's how it's calculated, with water, the garage, for using the garage, and the gas bill, and then the rent. So in total, but this utilities is separate. This is for when we have to, at the end of the year, let's just say we used more electricity than we were supposed to, then we owe whatever the balance is. So next is a USAA, which is our car insurance. It's normally $108.62 or 63 cents. It depends. So we're going to do $109. For Apple, this is our family subscription. It's $16.99, so we're going to do $17. Invest, I always do $200. This is separate from what I normally invest. I already put 20% of my paycheck aside to a TSP. So this is just something that I do on my own. And then these are always mandatory for allowance and Girl Scouts. We're gonna do, we're gonna do 30 for allowance, and we're gonna do 25 for the Girl Scouts. I still have not paid for the Girl Scouts dues, and it's been difficult for me to make it whenever I have work. And then school lunch, I'm gonna do 30 because the little one likes to eat breakfast at school. And it's always a surprise whenever I get a notification saying that her account is negative. So I'm just gonna put $30 aside. For Cole, again, this is our water subscription. They delivered water yesterday, which I'm redoing this video because I sort of messed up and gave inaccurate information. So yesterday they delivered the water, and I forgot. I didn't remember, so now I'm going to charge for keeping the jugs. And next one's going to be treats. Treats, apparently now that I know that treats the actual when it's going to be coming out of my bank account. I got charged for it today. So now I have to budget for this one on the 15th. But I'm just going to go and use my my tax refund, and I'm just going to budget on that one. So we're going to add all this together. And it equals 1331. And we're going to subtract this. Did I do that? I did that wrong. Excuse me. There it goes. So it's 26.77 is left over from the paycheck. Next, we're going to move it down to the next section, right above variable expenses. And if you're wondering about this tracker, this is a tracker that I created. It looks like everybody else's tracker. I just made it more to make sense for my family's budget. So it works for me, and plus I like the additional color to it. And for variable expenses, we only put aside for 6 sections: groceries, household, gas, pets, fun money, and eating out. I will explain it as we go down. So for groceries, for the variable expenses, it'll be different this month because most of the time we always put $500 aside, my husband and I. So we always put like $1,000 for variable expenses. But since he's not going to be here for the month, I told him, don't even worry about it. I'm going to take care of it. So I have to budget with $500. So for groceries, what I feel comfortable with is $250, which is going to work as long as we shop off post and we shop in the economy. It's very cheap and affordable to buy groceries here in Germany. And the vegetables and the produce, they last longer too. And then household, this is for any toiletries, toilet paper, paper towels, any all that good stuff. We don't need anything right now, so I just put $25 aside. For gas, most of the time it's always $150. I already added it to our ESSO card. Our ESSO card still has $95, but I'm still gonna budget for $75 just in case. This would do 1 tank and a half from our car, so it should be good. And plus I can't drive my husband's car because it's a manual. And then for pets, the pets should be good when it comes to food. We just stocked up on their food, so we're just gonna put $25 aside just in case they want any snacks or maybe a litter. Don't know. But for fun money, this is like whenever we do trips, anything fun that we want to do on the side. I'm going to put 50. We're probably not going to use it, and I'm just going to put it towards eating out instead whenever I don't feel like cooking, because mommy is still sick. It's been a month, and I'm still not getting better. So I've been on bed rest for the past couple of days. And for eating out, we're going to do 75. And this is probably going to go away when we eat some Chinese food, because we found a really nice Chinese food restaurant here off post. It's really nice. It reminds me of the States. It's really good. So total 500. We're gonna subtract this from the leftover, which is 21.77, and we're gonna carry this over to the debt section, which is Bravo. All right, so for this one, if you watched my first video, I mentioned that my husband and I are both debt free. I've been doing this budgeting, zero-based budget for about 2 years already, and we do everything a little different now that we're in Germany, because I can't really take out money anymore. Everything's in euro, and it doesn't make sense to take it out and then try to deposit because I get less back. So we use fake placeholders here for all of our sinking funds. I use ones for the 2s and the 1s. I do 5s, 10s, 20s, the 50s and the 100s, the regular amount. And I create my own, and it makes it easier for me, but I do miss using regular money. So I'm gonna stop rambling, and we're just gonna go into what is currently due on my credit card. So I have 3, the Amex, Military Star Card, and Navy Federal. So for the Amex, the actual statement for this one is $337.92. So for the budget, we're gonna budget for $338, so we can make sure the number is rounded over, no cents. Military Star Card is $174.26. We're gonna round that up to $175. And then for Navy Federal, $554.95. Sort of went on an Etsy spending spree. I had to get some stuff. You'll find out in future videos if you stay tuned, and then you'll be able to see why I've been spending a lot of extra money, because I'm trying to get ready for what's to come in the future. So total for our debt is $1,068. I'm going to subtract this from what is left, and we are going to be working with our sinking funds, $1,109, which is nice. It's a really nice chunk of money we're going to be working with. Oops. So these are our sinking funds. We have a savings section, and we have an entire list right here of what we're going to be working with our sinking funds, what I prioritize, because my husband, he's included in all this, but this is something that I started before I met him, and I want to continue doing it because it worked for me when I was back in the States. So we're going to continue doing this. But before we start putting money into the other sections, I want to put money aside for the priority sections of my savings and my sinking funds. So the first one's going to be for a month ahead. I know I'm going to have an extra $20 because I budgeted this entire paycheck on the side already. I could increase it from 180 to 200 because most of the time I always do 180. So we're going to do 200 this time. And then next is a gifting section, which is for my kids, my husband, and the pets, and then birthdays. We always budget 65, but this time we have extra money set aside for additional 20. So I increased it from 65 to 85. And then next is vacation. Vacation from now on is going to be receiving $250 unless I have extra money. This is for our secret trip at the end of the year, and it's very exciting. I can't say, but when it happens, everybody's going to be able to see pictures and all that stuff whenever the time comes. I just can't tell you because my daughter is going to be editing my videos, and we want to keep it a secret. Next is going to be new car. New car, we're prioritizing this one as well. We want to get a new car before we go back to the States because of the whole tariff situation. So we're thinking about maybe getting a Volvo before we leave to make it easier for us to ship it back to the States. All right. So 109 minus 200 minus 85 minus 1. So we're going to be working with 474. So for 12 months is the 12 months of the year. So January through December, we save to a specific amount. I can't honestly remember what amount it is, but it equals like to maybe $1,000 and $1,050 maybe. And we're adding this section to our vacation envelope because we're gonna be going on that trip around the holidays. So for this one, we're gonna do 80. And then for 100 envelopes, I still want to do $54 aside for this one. And then next, this is safe to say, these are all the savings challenges that I currently have that I work with. I have, let's see, just random challenges like a reading challenge, an emergency fund challenge, a bee savings challenge. I added a new challenge called Let's Roll, and it's the one that I created. And then I changed the last three savings challenges. I removed them because they were very unrealistic amounts that I could meet for the end of the year or before we go on our family trip at the end of the year. So I currently owe my sinking funds $12,000 because we paid off my husband's car. So now I'm trying to pay myself back for that money that I used. So I have these 3 trackers that we're going to be using. So for my husband, since it's his birthday, we depleted his money because it was for his car. So I'm trying to do this challenge right here on this bookmark to ensure that we put money back into his envelope. And then I also wanted to prioritize emergency fund, even though I'm gonna put some money aside whenever I get my what is it called? Oh, I already forgot what it's called. Oh, tax refund. There it goes. But emergency fund, this is going to be, each account's going to be worth $5. It equals to $120. And then next, I wanted to prioritize our cup fund. This is for any gifts and all that stuff that I have to do for work. And it equals to 84. We currently are like maybe $400 away from completing this entire, fully funding this entire envelope. So I want to make sure I prioritize this one so I can stop putting money aside for this envelope. But these are bookmarks that I created to make savings challenge so more fun. So that's that section. Next, we're going to move on to emergency fund. And for emergency fund, we're going to add 50 to this one. And then next is for car care. We don't really need any service for any of our cars right now. This envelope is also for like car washes, whenever we got to get our all-season tires added to the car, anything like that. And then self-care, that one's going to be, that's my envelope. So we're going to do 20 for this one. And next is for uniforms. I'm going to do 15. And I don't need anything right now for any type of, anything at all. So my uniforms, they're all good for a while. So next is going to be cup fund. We're going to do 15 for that one. That's the normal amount that I normally do. And next is going to be for medical. We have medical insurance already, but this is for any glasses. I'm trying to save up braces, to get my daughter braces because their teeth are, they didn't get my teeth. I'll just tell you that much. And then school is going to get 20. We're going to add money back into this account because we keep taking money out of it to pay for school lunches and field trips and all that stuff. So books, this one's fully funded at $300. I'm not going to put any money towards that for a while until I decide to buy additional books, which we haven't bought any so far. Next is going to be future. So this is, I'm not going to really go into this one because this, my husband and I came up with an idea with what we're going to do with this envelope. We want to keep it a secret until we decide to take action on it. Next is going to be tax prep. Tax prep is going to be $10. We just depleted this one to pay for our tax professional to file our taxes in April. And she did a great job and got us our money back, which is nice. Next, this one's going to be changed. It's not going to be called gaming anymore. It's going to be called family fun. Because we use this one for like renting movies, going to the movies, and Pokemon cards. Like for the little one, she likes Pokemon cards, so even though they've been very difficult to find lately. And then next is going to be wants. Wants is like an envelope for all the stuff that we don't have budgeted into our account. And I think I messed up already because I have $80 set aside for something. Trying to figure out what it is. I think I forgot to subtract this one right here. But we'll find out what we messed up on. But the wants is for anything that's not on our budget. That's not categorized in any of this. And right now, I currently want a clock plane. It's very nice. I showed it on my first video if you weren't able to see it. It's very, very cool. Very cool. So we're going to find out where I messed up at. This is 414. $6.95 should be left over. So this section should be $6.95. I don't think I messed it up. Yeah, $6.95. So I guess I forgot to subtract the $80 from the other one. So that makes this a zero-based budget. So now that we did the budget for the entire, for the first paycheck, which is May 1st, now we have to make sure that all these numbers, they add up to 4,008. So first thing we're gonna do, the joint account, we are going to add those numbers up, which is the rent, utilities, and the variable expenses. They all go into the joint account, which is going to be $1,400. Next, for bills, it's the remainder. Oh no, I don't think I'm supposed to add that one. $346. And then for credit cards, $1068. For Ally, well, first we're gonna do Service Credit Union, $250, because the only one that goes in there is vacation. It's separate. We always put our vacation fund in a separate account so we can have access to it while we are out while we're traveling, because Ally it's not really user-friendly out here. So I can't really use my card, and I'm not trying to take out Euro, so I don't touch it. So it's very nice because my savings is actually looking really, really beautiful. But I do, let me explain this part. Since we don't really take out cash, all of our sinking funds and all of our savings challenges are currently inside my Ally account. So they all sit in my Ally account. The only one that's not in my Ally account is the vacation fund, and any variable expenses and the bills. All that is separate from this section over here. So now let's add up the allowance, Girl Scouts, and school lunch. $85. So now let's add all this up. And it should equal 4,008. Yep. 4,008. So this is how I normally budget our paycheck. It's gonna look very different when we budget for the June 1st paycheck, because my husband will be back, and you'll be able to see how the variables changes. And if I don't use my credit card as much, then we'll be able to add more money to our sinking funds and our savings. My goal is to always put at least $900 left over to this section of our paycheck breakdown. But sometimes it doesn't happen because I get a little reckless with my spending sometimes. And that's the main reason why I wanted to create this channel, so I could have a group of individuals that actually understand and have the same goal as that I have. And the goal is to basically save money and stay out of debt. But since this is another section that I forgot to do, so this section right here on the sides is the month ahead are the sections that I like to save for. Daycare, rent, utilities, USAA, T-Mobile, internet, subscriptions, yearly subscriptions. So since we have additional $20, most of the time for daycare, I always budget $50. We're gonna add that, we're gonna add that extra $10 to daycare and the extra $10 to rent, because both of them get $50. And then we're just leave the other ones the same. So utilities always gets $20. USAA gets $5, because USAA, our car insurance and our pet insurance is currently 4 months ahead. So we're slowing down on that one. T-Mobile is $10, internet's $10, subs $10, and yearly subscriptions is $25. And when I do my cash stuffing for my envelopes for the first paycheck of the month, we are going to complete both Grammarly and Prime. And I just paid for those in February, so we are way ahead. So now once we complete those envelopes, we could focus more on the other ones and put $25 aside for them. And then since I already did the Save to Save for our sections, we're no longer doing Monopoly, Saveopoly, no longer doing the all-in-one. We're changing the roll the die, and we're no longer doing 52 weeks. So these are the ones that are going to stay because they're more realistic. These two are Savings Challenge from Zodiac, a printable fund. And the other one, I forgot who it's from. I'll remember when I'll mention it during my video. But the new ones that I have is the Let's Roll, which is a roll the die challenge as well that I created. And then next is going to be for birthday, and then emergency fund, and then cup fund. For those, we came up with the amount of 11, 16, 10, 12, 16, 5, and 10. And that equals $80. And then next for the 85, we always put 10 for the girls and the future baby. But for my husband, this time around, we're gonna put an additional $10 because his birthday is coming up in August. So I want to make sure that we have enough money to give him a nice little gift. And then pets always gets 20 because we have 2. We have a cat and dog. And then birthday, it normally gets 5, but we added the additional $10 to birthday. So that should equal $85. And this is how I budget for a family of 4 and 2 fur babies. And if you like my video, you can subscribe, like, share, and follow our journey as we try this new cashless method and just focus digitally on our budget. It's going to be very fun. It's challenging, very challenging, because now we use just credit cards. We use credit cards now, and it's making it very, very entertaining. And it's very difficult. So if you like my video, you go stay tuned for more and watch me struggle as I count the money in my cash stuffing video. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Ashley, and I hope to see you again. Bye.